The Ladybird Book of Mindfulness. Mindfulness is a skill of thinking you are doing something when you're doing nothing. One of the good things about mindfulness is that you get to do a lot of sitting down. Sitting down is good for the mind because so much positive energy is stored in the lap. People who practice mindfulness first find somewhere quiet to sit down. Alan is sitting down in the Falkland Islands. Sophie is concentrating on her breath. It smells of frazzles. She says she has light for breakfast, air for lunch, and love for supper. But Sophie has also secretly had some frazzles. Wendell achieves a state of mindfulness by imagining he is floating in a beautiful lake until his mind empties of everyday worries. Soon he is aware of himself, but no longer worried about money, work, family, or whether he left the taps on. Many home insurance policies now cover acts of mindfulness. Anna has emptied her mind and is just listening to the world around her. She can hear the neighbours arguing, 2 ambulances, a burglar alarm, a child crying, and the sound of dubstep coming from a Subaru Impreza. She is also concentrating on her own feelings, like her cystitis. People learn a lot about themselves from mindfulness. Mindfulness has taught Django to live in the moment. He used to live in the Peak District. Mindfulness has taught Leanne to accept things as they are. Rubbish, expensive, unfair, and out of date every 6 months. It has also taught her to accept things like cake. Leanne likes cake. There is more wisdom in a waterfall than there is in 100 men, says Jake. Jake is always saying things like this. His ex-wife's sister calls him Jerk. Declan is so mindful that he's forgotten to take his car in for its MOT test. Alison has been staring at this beautiful tree for 5 hours. She was meant to be in the office. Tomorrow she will be fired. In this way, mindfulness will have solved her work-related stress. Clive likes to practice loving-kindness meditation. This is when someone thinks of a friend, then sends them love. Clive finds this easier than bothering to meet his friends or lending them money. Fleur is on a silent retreat. She likes going on retreat because it takes days and nobody demands anything of her. Today, a guest speaker is giving a silent speech, after which there will be a silent question and answer session. It is all very different from life in the Leicester parking shop where she works. The clock there is very noisy. Thaddeus has been practicing self-realization for 5 years. He has come to realize his true self as an air conditioning engineer. He does not miss being Chancellor of the Exchequer. That made me laugh. Mia has found a spiritual retreat in West London. This is a shame, as she was hoping her husband would pay for her to go to Thailand. You can achieve mindfulness anywhere, simply by filling your mind with images of calm, serenity, or wonder. By practicing mindfulness, Martin has found inner peace, even though he's been kidnapped by swans. Valentine became a Buddhist because he was interested in Dharma. Dharma is a word for cosmic law and order. Valentine is sad. He thought Dharma was a type of curry. In ancient times, There's always one rude one every week. In ancient times, Guru Belend entered a state of mindfulness that lasted 35 years. During this time, he thought about everything. When he had finished, he wrote the answer on a grain of rice. He never married. Sometimes life can be too noisy. Try not speaking for a while. Let people know what you want with a smile or a frown, or by throwing your keys at the back of their head. Jane has tried many ways of energizing and detoxing. She went on a raw food diet, but the chicken made her very poorly. Then her tutor told her to be like water. Jane thought this was a good idea. Now, just like water, she is drunk most lunchtimes. Todd likes extreme mindfulness. Today he is emptying his mind on a tightrope high above Poole Harbour. The people on the pleasure cruiser below hope that Todd doesn't empty any other part of his body. New sorts of mindfulness are popping up all the time. This is aqua mindfulness. There are now courses for cardio mindfulness, cockney mindfulness, honey roast mindfulness, micro mindfulness, and mindlessness. In mindlessness, you have to beat up your inner total stranger. Katrina is in love with the earth, but she worries that it does not love her back. Maybe joining Friends of the Earth was a mistake. Now the earth will never see her as more than that. Tom and Mozart have gone on a rafting retreat in California. With only a bottle of water and an inspirational haiku, they must find their way to a state of intense curiosity and awareness. They are lost and tired, and Mozart wants to give up and go and find some hookers. Laura tried mindfulness to get in touch with her inner child. It turns out that Laura's inner child has been prescribed an experimental cough medicine and was having some very vivid dreams. Poor Laura. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers and patrons. See you next week. Bye bye.